It's a world of normal, a world of Z. There's a chi-square test just for you and me. And I could explain how to do the chi-square test in 5 minutes. But I want to go through it slowly, which means there's going to be more videos. But at the end, you'll be like, oh, this totally makes sense. And it's going to be better. So the chi-square test is how do we deal with a lot of categorical stuff. We've talked about how to test means. And we've even done proportions. And if all I had was vanilla and chocolate as my ice cream flavors, then I could test is the proportion of guys who like vanilla different than the proportion of guys who like chocolate, and that would be fine. But now I've got multiple categories, lots of proportions going on here. What do we need? We need a chi-square test. So this is my survey. What's your gender and which of these 4 ice cream flavors would you pick? And I'm going to go survey a whole bunch of people. Hang on, let me yell out my window. Hey! Okay, now I've got data. I could have made an other category, but I wanted to keep it simple. You have to pick one of these 4. Now notice the question we're asking. We are not asking whether these numbers are all the same. Clearly they're not. We happen to get more males than females, and we happen to get more cookie dough because, frankly, cookie dough is the best. And how does sherbet have more than vanilla? That's too bad I didn't notice that. I wish I could have done that because, frankly, sherbet doesn't count as a real ice cream flavor. What is wrong with you? So, the question we want to say is, are these proportions for males different than the proportion for females? Not the numbers, the proportions. Because there's more males, of course we expect 10 is higher, 22 is higher. I mean, okay, that one's a little weird, but randomly could have just happened by luck. It seems like the men are really fond of cookie dough. It's because cookie dough is a manly ice cream. So the question we're trying to ask, is gender independent of your ice cream preference? Is there a relationship between gender and ice cream preference? Are gender and ice cream preference correlated? Those kind of questions, okay? So here's the way we're going to do it. Let's start with this number right here. I want to say, what is the probability that if I randomly select one of the people that I yelled at out my window, what's the chance I will get a male who likes vanilla? Okay? How do we do this? If you remember clear back from how long ago we talked about how to do probabilities, you're going to take 10 out of the 166. There's your probability for randomly selecting a male who likes vanilla. But there's another equation that works for this. It only works in one scenario. Do you remember the rule? It was that if they are independent, then this probability can be broken up by the probability of the first thing, which is male, times probability of the second thing, which is vanilla. So this right here says if it's independent. Another way you could say that is if the null was true, because the null said they were independent. So according to the null hypothesis, this is going to give us the same answer as that. Well, let's find out. So I've got the probability of being male. How many males do I have? I have 93 out of my 166. 93 out of 166. What's the probability of vanilla? Well, the vanilla lovers, we've got 18 out of 166. 18 out of 166. Now, mathematically, sure, those don't look to be the exact same, but because there's randomness, maybe they'll be so close it doesn't matter. How much are they? Hang on, let me do it in my head. This guy is going to be 0.0602, and this guy is going to be 0.0627. Awful close. They're both 0.06-ish. This one's 0.0602, this one's 0.0627. Is that close enough that maybe the null could be true? Maybe they're off just by randomness. And that's the idea of how we're going to create our hypothesis test. So we're going to use this idea in the next video to come up with what numbers we expect to get based on the null hypothesis, and then we'll be able to test whether those are close enough within the amount of error that we expect.